Hello everyone! Today I'd like to introduce the contents of the Roroma Classic Bible size that I bought the other day. Bible size is a personal size in English. I just bought it a few days ago, so it hasn't aged that well yet. But let's take a look at the outside first. There are still some white blooms on the whole surface, and since I use it on a desk like this, the color of the convex parts seems to have darkened a little, such as the belt holder and the backside of the belt, also the edges and the corners of the panel. But overall the color is still light. As I said in the previous unboxing video, I think this bloom is beautiful and nice, so I'm glad it's still there. And some people polish it with a dry cloth and apply oil right after they buy Roroma Classic to make it shiny, but I'd like to tell you that some people like this bloom. So let's open the inside. So this belt has become much softer or looser, so I can pull it in and out easily. And in the pocket, I keep the Davinci card that was in the pocket when I bought it, and a Liverpool card. I like football and I'm a fan of Liverpool FC of the English Premier League, and I used to be a member of the club. The membership has already expired, but I keep this card as a keepsake. And I have Midori index clip here. And by the way, my Roroma is a blue Bible size. And I put this lifter or page turner, which was included in the package when I bought the binder, and I inserted this cover paper because it looks nice. I decided to use this Bible size organizer for schedule management in the first place, so I made my own vertical refills for schedule management. I made it myself using Excel and printed it out, punched holes in it and put it in. I really like to use a vertical weekly layout for my work schedule, so I made it by myself. And I have various requirements for scheduling layout. And first of all, it must be a vertical weekly with 24-hour notation. And the size of the Saturday and Sunday columns must be the same as weekdays, not compressed ones. And below the dates, there should be a space for writing down main events of the day. And at the bottom of the columns, there should be a space for writing down notes and to-do list. So this is actually the first time I use a system organizer, and I have always used book type planners, and I have been a fan of Jibun Techo for almost 10 years, since 2014. So I made this vertical layout based on the design of Jibun Techo, which is the most ideal vertical layout for me. And one of the features of Jibun Techo is a 24-hour notation, which is narrower from the midnight to 6 a.m. But after 6 a.m., the width of the hour is doubled, and there is a mark every 30 minutes so that you can write in your schedule every 30 minutes. I thought it would be convenient, so I made it as it is. And this page is not yet in use, and I started using it on 30th March. So I have only written the schedule from here, but I can't show you the page with the actual schedule because it contains personal information. But as I said, I am a Liverpool fan, and I write down the schedule of all Liverpool games in my planner. Of course, the schedule is based on the UK time, so in Japan it's late night, and this day's kickoff was early, so it starts at 10 p.m. Japan time, but most of the games start at 11 p.m. or 1 a.m. Japan time, so that's why I want the 24-hour notation. And I can design my own layout, so I added the illustration of the teapot here, and I wrote the month number here. And it's undated, so I wrote down the dates later. And I added an illustration of a sloth here next to 24-hour, so it's a good reminder to sleep after midnight. And on the other page, I put an illustration of a teacup to make it a good match for the other page. And the color is not the original color of Jibun Techo, but it was inspired by color of Jibun Techo Light. I used to use the original version of Jibun Techo, but I have also used the light version, and the original version is a bit more colorful with orange. So I thought the light version would be better in terms of design and coloring, so I made it look more like light version rather than the original one. And I love Splatoon, and I wrote the schedule of the final Splatoon Koshien, which is the official tournament by Nintendo held at the end of March. I usually write about my work and private schedule together, and I put all my plans here. And I bought these index stickers from a stationery store and stick them on by myself. I bought them at stationery store, not at a 100 yen shop, and they are tiny and look good. Index stickers are available at 100 yen shops, but the design is very office-like and boring, not very cute, and the size of these indexes is too big, so they stick out a bit too much and annoying, so I spend a bit more money for cuter and tiny ones at the stationery store. So these pages are not yet written, but the whole of the design is like this. I started using this refill in April, so it only goes from April to December, but it's pretty thick. And I'm a big fan of Tomoe River, and they sell loose Tomoe River paper sheets. I think the package has 100 sheets, so I just bought it and printed them out and cut them up and made the refill by myself. This is not Tomoe River S or Sanzen Tomoe River, but the original Tomoe River paper. And when I heard the original Tomoe River would be discontinued, I bought the paper and notebooks of Tomoe River as much as possible. And compared to Tomoe River S, which is very good and I love it also, but the original Tomoe River is softer and fluffier, and I love this feeling. And when I wrote on it, the ink feels a little damp and squishy, but I like that feeling very much. And the index clip, which I put in the front pocket, is used here to make today's page of my schedule management. And after all, even the narrow bookmark would cover part of the page and hard to see the schedule for the whole of the week, so I didn't use it, and instead I decided to use the clip. And the only thing is that the page size is very small and I have to write in very small letters, so that is my only complaint. Before I changed to this ring organizer this year, I used Hobonichi Cousin and I wrote my schedule on vertical layout pages, so it has plenty of space. So when I suddenly changed to this small space, I feel a little cramped. But I want to get used to it because I want to carry it around with me. And I use a Frixsion ball multi-color pen Slim with 4 colors for my schedule. And I don't explain how to write my schedule in this video because it will be too long, but I write my schedule. I write my work schedule in blue, works with appointments in red, and my private schedule in pink, and the Liverpool schedule in purple. And I inserted this divider. I originally made this for the plotters Bible size, but now I used it on this one. I made this one myself too, and I put Splatoon stickers on the drawing paper I bought at a 100 yen shop because I like Splatoon. And the back and the front pages are covered by wall protection sheets from Cat's Nails, which I bought at a 100 yen shop too. The sheets is supposed to be used for protecting walls from cats scratching it, but it's good to reinforce paper as well and easy to use. And it's soft and bent, but it protects from cat scratches, so it's very strong. And even if you draw on it with a ballpoint pen like this, it won't get scratched. And after that, I put Davinci daily date-free refill, which I bought myself, and it's a date-free daily schedule square. And I use it to keep my life log. I inserted pages only for 1 month. And it's about this thick. But after writing for a month, I'm going to take it out and add new pages for the next month. And I'm going to show you how I use this layout. And first, I expected a vertical line here on the right side, but there isn't actually. It's just a full page, so it's not separated right and left sides. And I wanted to use the right and left side separately. So on the right side, I write down a list of things I have achieved on the day. It could be work, house chores, or a little thing such as going for a walk. So I write down such such small things to raise my self-esteem, to make myself feel like I have accomplished something every day. And after I finish writing things I've done list, I write down what I want to do tomorrow. And they are not work things or chores that I need to do, but things that I really enjoy doing and that I really want to do from my heart. For things I have to do for work or chores, I write to-do list at the bottom of the vertical schedule pages every day. And I also write down what I have to do during the week here on the left side of the page. And I write the date and the weather, and if there's a main event in the day, I write it here, like when I went somewhere or met friends or something. But I often leave this section blank because I usually just stay at home. And here I write about what happened on the day. So it's like a log of the events of the day and not journaling or my feelings or something, I thought. So when I want to write more about my thoughts and emotions like journaling, I write on this Davinci square refill instead after the daily section. I actually like writing a lot and use many pages. So this refill is an economy pack refill with 100 sheets, which I think is the cheapest refill of Davinci Tomo River series. But even I'm trying only events log in the daily pages, I write too much, and I've recently changed my writing style a little. So I wrote the date, the weather, and the cherry blossom were in full bloom this day. So I wrote that here, but I decided to write about the meals here. So I write the wake up time first, and then write breakfast, lunch, and dinner here. And I decided to draw lines here because it's easier to use. I tried to log what I did for my health and body, such as massaging myself, taking supplement, how much water I drank, went for a walk, went to gym, etc. here. And then I write the list of what I've done and what I want to do tomorrow on the right side. I think it's better this way because I don't write similar content here and on the journal pages. So for daily pages, I'm not writing with a Frixsion pen, but I use this Pelikan M405. I like fountain pens, and the real reason I keep a daily log and journaling is because I want to use a fountain pen rather than to keep logs or take notes. So of course I use my schedule for practical reason. practical purposes, but for the rest of the planner, I just enjoy writing as a hobby. So this is only a page per day here, so I use an EF nib. And this ink is Pilot Iroshizuku, and the color name is Ku-Jaku, which means peacock. This Roroma Classic is a deep blue color, so I thought it would match Ku-Jaku. And this is a Kaveco pen case. And after the life log pages, I put the checklist refill, which was bundled with the Roroma Classic, and I wrote the title of the books I want to read, and when I start reading it, I will check the box in progress, and when I finish reading it, I will check the box of done. And I have a lot of books on my Kindle that I want to read, but I forgot about them and never finished them, so I want to keep a reading habit. And I also put a divider that I made myself, and it also put a Splatoon sticker on it. And after that is the journal pages I mentioned earlier. I can't show you too much of the diary, but it's just a square note refill of Davinci. And I don't have to care how many pages I write a day, and I don't care if I make misspellings or grammar mistakes, but I just write quickly, and it's a detox and brain dump for me. So I use the pen that is easiest for me to write with here, so I don't worry about the size of the nib. So this is Pelikan Souveran M800. So my M800 is a B size, so it's very thick, so I can't write small letters at all, but I use it because the feeling of this pen is very smooth and comfortable. And I bought both of the Pelikan pens second hand at Mercari because they are very expensive and I couldn't afford to buy new ones. So normally Souveran M800 is also very expensive even if it's second hand. Especially F and EF nibs are very popular and they are still very expensive on Mercari website. But mine is B, so I guess not many people want to use B and there's not so much demand, so this pen was sold for a relatively reasonable price, so I chose this pen. But it's great for writing large and bold letters, and the ink flow is very good, so I am glad I chose B because I can enjoy writing itself. And I don't think I'll keep these refills after because I really just want to write out my thoughts and frustrations, so I think I'll remove them when I've written some pages and add some new ones. And I will put the DIY divider here again, and for the final section I use the same Davinci refill again, but this time for notes. I write down something I'm curious about, things I've researched and so on, And I also use this for making notes on how I want to make YouTube videos in the future. And I talked about Tomoe River, and here I wrote some notes about Tomoe River. And on the last page, here are notes for the conversions of hour and minutes and the hour shift, work shift hour of my husband. And I used to write these notes on a sticky note every year, but I decided to write them on the page directly. And this is a lined refill that came as freebie with Roroma Classic, and I put some washi tapes on the back of the page because I look at this page often and I often turn it over, so I thought it would get damaged quickly. So I think it was a good idea to reinforce it with washi tapes. And I inserted the lifter again at the end, and this is a postcard of the dentist. And here in the back pocket, it's a flyer for an upcoming concert. I will put paper or flyer of events later on in the back pocket. And I don't plan to carry this ring organizer outside, so I just use it at home. But when I carry it in the home, I put this Frixsion in the pen holder. And I put the fountain pens in the pen case like this. But I usually leave schedule page open all the day long on my desk while I'm working, so that I can check my schedule anytime. So I leave this page like this all the day. So I don't know how it will age over time though. If I keep it open all the time, I think that only these edges might be exposed to the sun and the color may get darker. But I think it's okay. Okay, that's all for now. It was a very long video, but thank you very much for watching.